Hey there, Tubanites. It's your friendly neighborhood Flash in the Pan. This is not specifically about the Taurus G2C, but this is more about ammunition storage. I've seen a couple videos. I think Hickok 45's talked about it as well, but there's one fellow I watched where he was saying he had stored some ammo like in his barn or in his shed or something like that. Now I think it was a shed, so it wasn't like in the elements per se, but obviously it's a shed, so it's gonna get all the hot and cold depending on your environment. And he said that he had kept that ammo in there for 6 months or something like that. Maybe not even that. It might have been a month. I forget what he said, but let's say it was 6 months. Let's just say that. And he showed himself going to the range and trying to shoot that ammo, and he was getting every second or third round wouldn't fire. And so, and I thought that was definitely, I mean, you don't want to store your ammo just willy-nilly wherever. I always keep mine in the house, usually in the closet, as God intended. But as I said in the Taurus G2C video, after October 7th happened in Israel, all the terrorist types were saying they were gonna, attack the world. So I was like, all right. Up until then, I did not keep a car gun. It was usually just I carried whenever I wasn't going to work and stuff like that. So I decided to make this pistol my dedicated car vehicle. Yeah, car gun. And at the time, I had 4 magazines for it, and I kept all 4 magazines with it in the car, loaded, obviously. So these are just little 12 rounders, good little magazines. Taurus is actually really proud of these. They usually go for like $30, 35. I'm like, really? Anyways, but I kept them all from, wherever that was, a couple days after October 7th. So October of 23, of 23, up until when I went to the range yesterday. They stayed in the car the whole time. Now, as you should, I did bring this out of the car once a month. During chore weekend, as I like to call it, and I would clean it, make sure it stayed clean and oiled and all the stuff, so it wasn't neglected. But the ammo, point being, is the ammo stayed with the gun in the car for over a year and a half. So this is North Texas. Now, when everybody hears Texas, they think hot, but it also does get cold here. So this ammunition sitting in that car went from temperatures of probably around 20 degrees to 110. Especially being in a car, that's almost exaggerated because they become little ovens. So, if you go watch that Taurus, that range video that I did with the Taurus, those first 4 magazines were the 4 magazines that I had sitting in the car with the gun for a year and a half. I didn't have a single problem. I think there was one malfunction. It was like failure to extract or something. I don't remember. But every round went off when I pulled the trigger, is the point. So I would say it's probably still not a good practice to keep it in there that long. That's on me. You should definitely cycle out your ammo more than that. And that's something I'm going to obviously work towards. But I was pleasantly surprised that it was not an issue at all. Every one of them shot just fine. I'd be curious to see if other people have as bad a reaction as that fellow's video that I watched. And I'm not saying he's a liar by any stretch of the imagination. I'm curious though what the difference is. Were those like maybe hand loads that did not? I don't think they were, man. I think they were factory ammo, and I think he kept them in Ziploc bags as well, if I remember right. I'll have to go back and find that, but it's weird to me how you can have such drastically different results in 2 different locations or 2 different scenarios, and maybe it was the ammunition itself, maybe his particular store's location wasn't as well kept as a car. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. A car, that temperature cycle in a car has got to be pretty drastic, just the average person. I don't know, but I would say it's not something you should worry too much about. I do think you should store your ammo in a cool, dry place. Obviously, like I said, I keep mine in the house, as you should. But I also don't know if you should worry about it that much. I think you should, as a precaution, You know, keep your ammo cycled out. You don't want it to store it for that long in a vehicle, but it's good to know that if you do kind of screw up or forget like I did, it seems like you're okay. Like you can still count on it. I'd be curious to see if anybody else has any experience in this, if they've accidentally, you know, stored it in a bad place, or intentionally stored it in a bad place or whatever. Just to see if I'm the only one, or if maybe I'm the weird one and everybody else experiences, you know, the ammo is not reliable. So if you have any experience, please chime in the comments. Just spit, sorry. Chime in the comments and let us know, because I would really like to learn on this. But that's my results. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you on the next one.